On today's episode of The Young and the Restless, Nick threatens Victor and Kyle expresses his worries to Jack. Phyllis prepares to leave, Summer gives Diane a warning, and Adam overhears a perplexing exchange. In Jack's office at Jabot, Kyle inquires as to the status of his and Diane's relationship. He says, "Your connection may be what finally blows up this family. He doesn't think it will last." Back at the Abbott residence, Diane lets Summer know that she senses Summer isn't quite delighted about the rekindled romance between her and Jack. The last thing Summer wants is for Jack to get hurt or for Kyle to get caught in the crossfire if and when things go wrong, as Summer is very confident they will. Sally and Chloe lament their wasted time in LA at Society. Sally has no clue why Jill called off their appointment. Although she believes Jill respected her for putting the past in the past when they first met, she now wonders if Jill has discovered something about her past. Chloe shrieks in shock. What the hell just happened? Nick at Newman Enterprises needs an honest response from his father. Did he cancel Jill's lunch with Sally by calling her? Victor admits that he shared his candid opinion with Jill over the phone. Nick is frustrated since they met all of their needs in the meeting while he had none. As far as Victor is concerned, Sally Spectra deserves whatever fate befalls her. Nick demands to know why Victor is so intent on ruining Sally. Victor insists that he is unconcerned about her, before launching into a tirade about how she killed his brother and would kill him too. Nick says that she hasn't done anything like that. Victor is upset that Adam is wasting his time at Jabot peddling cosmetics to the female clientele due of his obsession with her. They both feel the weight of her influence on him. Nick yells out that the situation is in fact the inverse. It's Sally who has the drive and determination to succeed. Victor's comparison of himself to Adam is extremely insulting, given how many chances Adam has blown. Tucker sees Phyllis at Grand Phoenix, with her bags and wonders whether Diane has taken her to the airport. Phyllis is leaving town, and she'll do far better than he has in a new place. Lily at Crimson Lights assures Jill over the phone that they will figure out a solution. When Daniel comes up to her, she informs him that neither Devin nor Jill are budging. She has to find a way to make ends meet as the two sides argue, and the company depends on it. That, in Daniel's opinion, is a dreadful predicament to be in. What he actually wants to know, as Lily has deduced, is how this will affect his gaming platform. The brightest star among the young and restless most memorable red carpet looks from Sharon Case. Chloe reassures Sally at Society that they just need some additional funds. She'd like to reconsider Nick's offer, but Sally feels their relationship is already fraught enough. Chloe reassures Sally that Nick would be with her throughout the pregnancy. Sally understands that her situation may alter. When asked about the prospect of having an intimate relationship with Adam, Chloe sighs and says, "Ah, the Adam possibility." Right at that moment, Adam approaches and inquires, "What is the Adam possibility?" Sally tells Chloe that they were only discussing the potential of him enticing her up onto another rooftop and getting her back, when in reality, Chloe has been lying to her the entire time. Adam jokes that he appreciates Chloe thinking about him, but he doesn't see why she gives him a chance. "Something new happened to you?" he asks Sally. Phyllis instructs a hotel worker on how to handle her mail in her absence till she returns from Portugal. Tucker, who had been sitting nearby, deduces that she is on her way to visit Daniel's daughter. Phyllis instructs him to mind his own business about the matter. Phyllis urges Tucker to stop bothering her son after he brags about his new, exciting endeavor. "Tucker, you sound like you're really struggling," she says. She calls him out, demanding to know, "What are you doing?" When he tries to steal the gaming platform from under his son's company, Phyllis recognizes that he hasn't triumphed in a while. Tucker shrugs and says, "Have a great trip." "Damn it," Phyllis spouts angrily. Daniel tells Lily at Crimson Lights that despite how much he cares about the project, he is concerned for her. Lily simply has a lot on her plate at the moment. She's in a state of intense stress. Lily wants to do the right thing by him, as well as by Jill and the company, but Devin has thrown everything into disarray, and Daniel is quick to point out that Jill is on her side. Lily needs just to face the possibility of the worst-case scenario. Kyle tells Jack that he has tried this previously, and it has always gone off in his face every time they are at Jabot. Jack understands that he is anxious that his mother will fall back into old habits. The rules aren't something Kyle plays by, and she'll be the first to acknowledge it. Take Stark's current condition, for example. Jack stands up for Diane and takes full accountability for the situation. Kyle acknowledges his father's affection for her but wonders how he can be so sure they're a suitable match. As far as Jack is concerned, they've matured and gotten smarter. What if they fight and she rushes away again? Kyle wonders. There is no way for him to recover from that. Jack realizes he can forgive his mom, but he'll never forget what she did to him. He thinks back on how he felt when he decided to give Diana another chance. Jack tells Kyle that he and Diane are content with their relationship, saying, "There is no risk in my relationship with her," is not a strong enough statement. He assures me that my family would be fine no matter what happens. In any case, he and Diane will be okay anyway, and they will continue to support Kyle's loved ones. Diane assures Summer that she is stronger with Jack and that she will do whatever it takes to make things work at the Abbott residence. Her mother is the only potential obstacle she can think of. When it comes to Phyllis, Summer doesn't think she has anything to worry about. Diane says she doesn't respect Jack's decisions, and she gets frustrated about it. Summer disagrees with Diane that this is a matter of respect, and suggests that, like Diane believes Phyllis to be, she may be mired in ancient patterns of animosity. Whenever everything goes wrong, she feels Diane is seeking for someone to blame, but Diane says that's not true. She's had enough, and she hopes Phyllis moves on to other things. Summer makes a comment about Phyllis's mother bear behavior. Diane is curious as to whether or if this is a cautionary sign. The similarities between them and Summer have just now become apparent, so that's the warning, Diane thinks to herself. Summer expresses her gratitude to Diane for the opportunity to communicate before leaving. Nick speculates at Newman that Adam's recent poor judgment can be attributed to his relationship with Sally, as held by Victor. Apparently, as Victor admits, he is doing that ridiculous job and sleeping through it. He's falling short, because of her. He anticipates Nick will suffer the same fate. Nick questions how his father can possibly know how Adam is doing at Jabot and accuses him of wanting Adam to fail so he can win him back. He thinks it's sad that Victor is so fixated on reuniting with Adam, even though it's never worked. He won't allow it to affect Sally in any way. His mother and sister have let him down, and he is furious at his dad for interfering with his relationship with Sally. Most notably not at this time. After hearing this, Victor naturally wants to know more about what he means. Nick insists that she doesn't need to go back to work right away despite being let go at Newman. He warns his dad that if they keep going this way, he'll have to make him pick between his job and his relationship with Sally. To which Victor replies, "What do you mean, given everything? Tell me, what is it that you're not disclosing to me?" The doorbell rings and in walks Victoria. What do you think? Nick and Sally are the focus here. Adam says to Sally, "Come on, Sally, in society. Give me the backstory on how we got to talking about getting back together." Nick sends an SMS to Sally, indicating his want to meet up. To which Chloe responds, "Ah, he's so sweet." Sally assures Adam that nothing has changed, and that they are still not meant to be together. Chloe insists that all she was doing was imagining terrible futures for the world. While Adam is leaving, Sally turns to her buddy and wonders, "How am I going to put up with 9 months of this? And when she finally gives birth, what will he think?" Phyllis visits the Abbott home to inform Summer of her impending departure to Portugal. When Summer reveals that Daniel is also in the dark, her eyes widen in shock. Phyllis is adamant that she must make things right for her brother. When Daniel sees Lily at Crimson Lights, he always makes sure to tell her how his idea would improve her bottom line once it's released. "Can it be ready this afternoon?" jokes Lily. Daniel promises to release her from her duties if she has to prioritize revenue-generating departments at the moment. Their agreement is null and void, and she is free to go away. Chloe informs Sally at the society that she can only keep the pregnancy a secret for so long. Her suspicions about Adam are at an all-time high. When Nick steps in, Adam can't help but feel sad, since he knows he'll have to see the way he and Sally embrace. Victoria visits her dad at Newman Enterprises and inquires about Nick's whereabouts. He says Sally, the object of Nick and Adam's affection, needs to leave town. She can't let go of any of them since she requires a support system. Furthermore, he asks, "You know why? She really could need the cash." If Victor restricts her options, Victoria assumes he wants her to go. Victor cannot comprehend that Nick would threaten to abandon them all for her. We are both in the dark about what is happening. They should move on without Sally, according to Victoria. At Newman, we have a really well-oiled machine. Don't upset Nicholas to the point that he leaves again. V heaves a sigh. Chloe abandons Sally and Nick at society, where they must play catch-up. Sally informs Nick that she hoped her visit to Los Angeles would be an occasion for celebration. Nick hopes to get some sparkling cider and toast the excellent news that is coming her way. If Sally is correct, someone in Los Angeles must have told Jill a narrative about her. Nick suggests that she could find more than only Jill amenable to collaborating with her. If she had the chance to pitch to Newman, would she? Sally believes that life with Victoria and Victor would be an absolute nightmare. She's going to have to launch the business on her own, but she tells him she won't give up. Nick is worried that all this pressure will prove to be too much for her. It's not healthy for you. You get what I'm saying, right? Yes, Sally says. In the city of Crimson Lights, Lily will not let Omega Sphere to escape. They have a week to get Jill on board, she reminds Daniel. Can you have faith in me? She inquires. That's something Daniel excels at more than anyone else. Lily appreciates him for saying that to her since she needed to hear it. Summer, who is currently visiting the Abbott residence, is doubtful that Phyllis will be able to convince Heather to accept Daniel back. Phyllis may have a heart-to-heart with her and tell her what a fine man Daniel is, how he's just going through a hard time. Summer claims her sibling will be disappointed. Phyllis advises her against telling him since she thinks he'll be content enough with Heather taking him back. She tells Summer she's going to Florida for a few days and that her brother shouldn't let Daniel get romantically involved with Tucker in her absence. Phyllis tells Summer that she has what it takes to handle the situation, and the two women share many similarities, so Summer advises that she stay and do it. Have faith in me, and I'll do my best. Victoria would rather focus on her work at Newman than think about what might be going on with Nick, Adam, and Sally. She tells Victor that she has requested that their team conduct additional research into Tucker's financial situation. He routinely misses payments and is always late when making them. Victor ponders the issue of mounting debt. It sounds good to me. Victoria speculates that they could acquire ownership of him by purchasing his debt. Victor claims she has adopted her father's way of thinking, as an expression of approval. That's cool. As soon as Daniel steps foot in the hotel, Tucker appears from the shadows and tells him that Tucker McCall Unlimited is exactly where he needs to be. Lily is at Crimson Lights contemplating while checking Devon's number on her phone. After a moment, she hangs up the phone. Jack gives Diane a kiss as a greeting when they arrive at Jabot. She recently had a disturbing talk with Summer, who is convinced that their relationship would end in disaster, taking the rest of the family down with it. Jack discloses that he and Kyle, who shares his worries, had a conversation along these lines. He is afraid she will leave town if things don't work out between them. Diane is contemplating whether or if they should take things more slowly. Since they've known each other for so long, Jack tells her that there's no need to rush things. This is something we both want. Diane agrees that he's right, but stresses the importance of promising to be at Kyle's side no matter what. Jack replies, sure, but he prefers to be by her side at the moment. There is a passionate kiss between them. While in the club, Nick tries to reassure Sally that he's not actually starving. When she replies, I am, he chuckles to himself. When she leaves to answer a call, Nick's gaze shifts to Adam. He goes up to him in the pub and explains that their dad believes he can convince him to return to Newman. Adam has overheard rumors to that effect, and is confident that Victor is formulating a strategy. Nick claims that he most certainly does, and that he intends to ruin his position at Jabot. Adam isn't shocked, but he is confused as to why he would tell him this. Nick feels that Jack would be a better role model for him than their father. From what Adam can tell, he would rather not have him back at Newman at all. No, I don't, Nick says. Sally comes in again while talking on the phone. She thanks Dr. Chandler and hangs up, then turns to gaze at Nick and Adam.